So you said that you like to wrap up huge concepts in magical ways with your stories that engage and keep readers hooked, questioning what's coming next. Would you maybe elaborate on that?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean that is quite a good segue because I think the steps I took into actually making comics and specifically Haru um, came from exhibiting at conventions and wanting to have a good reason to talk to people the next year and like hopefully get people to come back to my table and have a good reason to interact with them and keep them wanting to interact with me online, like keep all these things going. So it was about trying to oh, it sounds so manipulative, but like dangle a carrot. Like you want to give them plenty to sink their teeth into, but you don't want to show all of your cards at once. So you want that kind of
Yeah.
um, that excitement about it, really. So the themes of Haru that I hope will become clear by the time people get through the third book, but the themes are they're very personal to me, but they're also like poetically related to a lot of epic fantasy tales. And I think you sort of you notice these patterns in popular films and stories and things. You notice that they come from a really deeply personal place, but they become this thing that people can understand in different levels. It kind of ties into the idea of identity and discovering who we are, which I think is genuinely a perpetual journey right from day one. Thing that I noticed when I was trying to um, I guess, unpick my own concepts, my own ideas for the story and how it would expand and really connect to me and my personal experiences as well. I started to recognize these patterns in things like Lord of the Rings and in Harry Potter and in how these things can be about identity and growing up, but they can also be about dealing with death and dealing with grief and existentialism as well, like the meaning of life. Like it all kind of it
Yeah.
comes back to a topic that's so big that it's almost too much for our puny brains to understand. But if you take the essence out of it and you put it into a different sort of package, then you can relate to it in whatever way you need to. So it becomes a personal story as well. So yeah, I think Tolkien and his works are fantastic. Yeah.
What can readers expect from book two, Summer? And also, along with that, are there any teasers that you can share about the final volume, book three?
Yeah, book two, the action picks up in book two. So I'd say, in terms of it being an action adventure series, book two is where the action really escalates. And Yama and Herb get to explore more about themselves in rather tested circumstances. So it's kind of difficult to talk about it too much without giving too much away. And then leading into book three, I'm going to skip talking too heavily about what happens too late on book two because I don't want to spoil it because I think half the fun is reading it for yourself.
Sure.
Yeah, so book three, the final volume is when the emotional weight hopefully lands for readers. So that's when I want everything to sort of converge and make sense. Um, and yeah, it is difficult talking about it because I try to be poetic in the sense of not giving too much away,